Look around you. Art screaming for your attention, shelves packed with stuff you don't need, notifications pulling you in every direction. We are drowning in things, clothes we don't wear, gadgets we barely use, and endless pressure to buy more. Welcome to the age of consumerism, where happiness is sold in shiny packages. But at what cost? What if there's another way, a way to break free, to live with less and find more? Today, we are diving into how we got here and why minimalism might just be the antidote we have all been searching for. Hi, and welcome to the channel. My name is Truth and I like to read and I like to make videos on how we can improve ourselves. So let's get into the video. One evening, I stumbled on a documentary on YouTube on minimalism and it got me thinking. I'm a girly girl, right? So if there's an event to go to and I go through my clothes, somehow it's like there's nothing there to wear. The right cloth is not there, the right shoe is not there, and that calls for me going to buy new shoes and new clothes. Just go and buy something. And I know I'm not the only one. Now more than ever, it's very easy, and in 2 seconds you can pick your phone, type out something, and you can order something online. We are in an age of consumerism. I remember coming across, I don't even think it's one instance where I've heard people on social media say, I don't repeat shoes. When I wear this cloth or this dress or shirt or trousers, I don't know where it again. I have to go get a new one. And I'm like, what? Really? Is that what it has gotten to? So on a serious note, I'm wondering, is that not supposed to be the goal? Our minds are cluttered, our closets are cluttered, businesses thrive on this new trend of you wanting to wear something new every day, or buying new gadgets or buying new toys, and then you go on Instagram and you see something and all of a sudden it looks like you can't live without that thing, and if that thing doesn't come to your house, your life will be incomplete. And when you walk around your neighborhood, you would see shops with signs as new season, new spring wear, new blah blah blah, new shoes, new must have. And because of that craving and the thing that is in us that makes us not feel enough, we think that it is buying more things or buying new things that will eventually actually make us happy. I mean, let's rewind a little. About a century ago, life was simpler. People usually just bought what they needed: food, clothes, and tools. And this year, most of the books I've read are on historical fiction, and I'm not necessarily saying we should go back to that, because they had a bad time. We didn't have proper medical care and all of that. And when I read this historical fiction or just history books, and I see how life then was a bit simple, people were a bit content and found joy in the little things. So sunset, sunrise, the smell of rain, just something, little things. And then there is us who needs the latest iPhone, the latest computer, the latest car, and all of that. And I'm like, why? After economies became better and people could afford more than just the basic necessities, businesses decided to thrive on our ability to want more, and then it has become a new normal. And even if you look at it from an academic point, I wouldn't even say academic, but from a societal point of view, our landfills are full and overflowing, our bins are full and overflowing. There's just so much, and you buy something, you wear it for 2 days, you don't want to wear it again, and sometimes it ends up in the bin, and everything is just choked and cluttered. But what's the price to pay for all of these though? We are spending most of our incomes that we worked hard for to keep up with the Jones, where if someone has this, I also want to have it. And we are wasting time because we've dedicated so much to make that money, and we are wasting so much time. Instead of focusing on things that are important, we focus on, I'm not against fashion industry, and I'm not even, consumerism is not necessarily fashion. I mean, buying the latest iPhone, keeping up with things. I can tell you that if I go through my clothes, I'm sure there are up to 5 things I have bought that I've never even worn. So why did I buy it in the first place? Now, coming on the opposite side of consumerism is minimalism. These are too much words to pronounce, but Minimalism is not necessarily living in an empty space where you don't have anything. Minimalism is about keeping what really matters. And I remember when I was watching the documentary, and it was two guys who started this whole trend where they go to neighborhoods to talk to people about it, and people started changing and clearing out, sorting out clothes and sending clothes out and cooking utensils and all of that. I was like, wait a minute, as much as this sounds good, this is not exactly what I want. I've seen people who have decided to make their life simpler by just wearing one color. So I know someone who wears only black t-shirts and that's it. Maybe once a while they might wear something else, or someone who wears only white shirts and all of that. And I'm like, yeah, this is good. It helps you not wake up and be thinking too much about what to wear and wasting so much mental energy on that. But however, I want a colorful life. I want a colorful life, so I wouldn't necessarily want to follow that. And I think to move away from consumerism, it doesn't even mean you can spend money on things that truly make you happy. You can spend money on as much clothes as you want. That is if it truly makes you happy, and not necessarily as a result of the influences of what is happening around us. And recently I was sitting with some friends and we were having a conversation, and there was an event coming up, and one of the ladies said that she wanted to rent a dress for the event, and I was like, what? And I said what? As a shock. Like, I'm like, why would you want to rent a dress for an event? Why don't you buy? And she was like, yeah, but if I hardly go to these kind of events anyway, if I buy it, I'm just keeping it and I'll be wasting money. If I rent it, I get to wear something new and send it back after the event. And the other lady was like, yeah, that's what I do. And I was like, oh, the African in me, what are you people talking about? But it got me thinking, I don't think I want to rent dresses. No fingers crossed on that. But that idea of, because most people think that people are going around watching what they wear every day. I don't think people really do. Do you do that? If you do that, it means you don't actually have time to do important things in your life. Because I'm not walking around thinking, what did this person wear yesterday? What did they not wear? And all of that. Right? So keeping what actually matters is what's more important than so much clutter in our home. Sometimes I've become angry that I'm always cleaning or cooking. I'm always cleaning. Why am I spending so much time cleaning? Because there's so much. If I had just 3 t-shirts to wear every day, I won't spend that much time trying to sort out clothes and what to wear and think about it and all of those things. And the bigger message is this: we live in a world that tells us that one more purchase is, so your happiness is just at the other side of buying one more thing, and then you buy it and in 2 seconds it gives you like a 2 seconds happiness, and that is the end. So now what I'm suggesting is, or what at least what I'm thinking about when I try to buy something is, do I really need it, or am I just buying it because I saw someone having a similar thing on social media and all of a sudden I actually want it? And sometimes I would leave it in my cart for a few days to come back and say, did I really want it, or did I get entangled with so much emotions that I wanted to buy that thing in the first place? Another way that can be helpful is to place yourself in seasons where you're like, in this season for the next 3 months I'm not buying new clothes, no matter what. Whether someone is getting married, whatever it is, I'm not buying new clothes for the next 3 months. And you put a pause on spending on clothes and see if you would figure things out or not. You would always figure things out, right? Or you're saying, I'm not buying gadgets, I'm not going to buy the latest iPhone that will come out, I'm going to keep my phone for the next 2-3 years. Those kind of things will help you to be able to, beyond, you are saving money, but you are not involved in the too much stress of consumerism and the clutter that comes with it. And the thing is, it's actually not going to be easy for you to just get up one day and say, I'm going to be a minimalist. Everything around us is screaming for you to want to buy more, right? Notifications, websites, everything is screaming. So what can you do? You have to learn to at least be able to stand your grounds, or start gradually, right? Look around your, pause this video. Actually, let's do an example. Pause this video. Look around your room. What are the things you have that you are not using where you can give it up? Maybe it's time to pass it on, or maybe, yeah, it's time to pass it on, give it to somebody, just declutter your space. So living in an age where more is never enough, this is your time to decide to walk in freedom, where you don't let all that is happening around you entangle you into so much clutter in your life. So my assignment for you this week is look around your room, pick one thing, pick one habit that you want to let go of, and then gradually we can all decide to actually have the things we want and use, and not necessarily buying things out of trend. If this video resonated with you, leave a comment down there. What do you think about minimalism and consumerism? I've heard people say that minimalism doesn't have style, it's just bland, which to an extent is true. Like I said, when I watched the documentary, I was like, this is too much. I don't think I want that. I want a bit of colorful, colorful clothes, a colorful life personally. But I notice how much of things I have that I actually don't need, and somehow I think they are not enough and I keep wanting more, right? So what do you think? Like the video, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.